When we look into our pet's eyes, we often wonder if they love us. We hope the dog is happy we are home. We hope the cat actually likes us. But what if they see us completely differently? What if your dog does not just see a human, but physically feels your heartbeat matching theirs? What if your cat's brain only truly wakes up when it hears your specific voice? Today, we are going to look at the world through their eyes. We will see exactly how your physical presence changes the biology of the animals around you. And fair warning, by the end of this, you might realize you are not the one in charge. Dogs are the easiest place to start. We usually assume they see us as their masters. We provide the food, the shelter, and the safety. But let us be brutally honest, we are the ones walking behind them, picking up their poop in little plastic bags. Who really domesticated who? For thousands of years, dogs have evolved alongside us, learning to read our expressions better than any other species on the planet. They track our eye movements to figure out what we are thinking. Science recently confirmed something beautiful and slightly terrifying. When you look deeply into your dog's eyes, your brainwaves start moving together, like two instruments slipping into the same rhythm. You lead, and they follow. You are calm, they are calm. If you are anxious, their cortisol levels spike entirely in sync with yours. We are not just their family. To a dog, we are the second heartbeat of their own mind. Cats, on the other hand, seem entirely different. They are famous for ignoring almost everything we do. They tune out footsteps, background noise, and the voices of strangers. They are the only roommate that refuses to pay rent, but still openly judges all of your life choices. But there is exactly one signal they never ignore. A recent discovery showed that while a cat will completely ignore a stranger's voice, the moment they hear their owner speak, their ears turn and their attention is entirely yours. Their pupils dilate, and their brain activity shifts, even if they refuse to move their bodies. They are actively listening, choosing when to engage and when to observe from a distance. They are setting a boundary. They are not ignoring us. To a cat, we are the only voice in a noisy world that actually matters. Then there are horses. Because they are prey animals, their survival depends on constantly reading their environment. They watch how we stand, how we breathe, and how our muscles tense. A sudden movement can send them running. But the amazing part is how deeply they feel our inner world. They possess an emotional intelligence that borders on a superpower. If you smile, but your voice is sad, a horse will stare at you in utter confusion, processing the conflicting signals. More incredibly, their heart rate will actually change to match the sadness in your voice. They mirror the emotional state of the human standing next to them. It makes you realize how terrible we humans are at hiding our true feelings. We cannot hide our pain or our joy from them. To a horse, we are an open book that they read with their own heartbeat. Before we explore the hidden minds of farm animals and insects, tell us below, does your pet have a specific look they only give to you? Let us know in the comments, and consider subscribing as we uncover more of these silent connections. Goats completely challenge what we think about farm animals. Most people see them as simple grazers, motivated only by food and the desire to chew on your shirt. But they are incredibly sensitive to our intentions. When faced with a puzzle they cannot solve, a goat does not just give up. If it loses its way or gets stuck, it does not wander aimlessly. It actually uses the direction of our voice and the gaze of our eyes to find what it is looking for. Chimpanzees, our closest relatives, completely fail this test. But goats pass it easily, which makes you wonder if being a biological genius is just about knowing exactly who has the food. They actively look to us for guidance. To a goat, we are the trusted light in a confusing world. Pigs also have a highly emotional world that is deeply affected by how we treat them. They pay close attention to our touch and our presence, possessing cognitive abilities that rival those of dogs. If you realized how much a pig's emotional capacity mirrors your golden retriever, your morning bacon might taste a little different. But this is not a guilt trip, it is a biology lesson. When we show them kindness, it physically changes who they are on a biological level. Piglets that are spoken to softly and petted gently actually begin to change the sound of their own voices, making shorter, happier sounds. Those left without human affection never find this softer voice. How we treat them literally changes their language. To a pig, our kindness becomes the very voice they speak with. We usually think of bugs as tiny robots, only reacting to shadows or vibrations. We assume a jumping spider could not possibly understand what a human is, given how vastly different our lives are. But even with a brain the size of a grain of sand, they recognize something fundamental about us. When researchers observed their reactions to different digital shapes, they found something stunning. When they see the complex movements of our joints, the specific way a biological creature walks, they know they are not just looking at an obstacle, they recognize the spark of life. Yes, a brain the size of a salt crystal is actively analyzing your movements and judging your existence. Even to the smallest creatures in the garden, we are known, we are seen. Finally, honeybees show us something entirely different. A beehive operates completely on its own, ignoring the human world outside. They build their intricate wax cities and dance to communicate the locations of flowers, needing absolutely nothing from us. But we have found a way to become a part of their silent society. By placing tiny, artificial intelligence-powered cameras deep inside their hives, we now watch over the queen bee every second of the day. We are the ultimate voyeurs of the insect kingdom, studying their behaviors to protect them from disease. They let us step into their most intimate world without fear. To a honeybee, we are the quiet guardians they never see. So what does all this mean? Animals do not just live next to us. Our presence physically shapes their minds and their bodies. When we look at the science, we realize we are deeply connected in ways we are only just beginning to understand. Our presence bends their senses, their brain functions, and their voices. And they bend ours too. They lower our blood pressure, reduce our stress, and give us a profound sense of purpose. So when we wonder what they see when they look at us, they do not care about our jobs, our bank accounts, or our names. Every time we interact with them, we are altering their biology, just like they are altering ours. And that silent connection is something we share with almost all life on Earth.